Hi, Nick Tucker with Nick Knows Nerf. Hey, buddy. And yes, you read that title correctly. It's story time, and something that could only happen to a foam flinging nut like yours truly. Uh, yeah, hi, Stuart. I was several months ago on eBay prowling around, and it was sort of during that sweet time when they were discontinuing a lot of the first gen dart. Where are you going? You leaving? Oh, no, you're just not comfortable. The first gen uh, Pro Blasters. Now, okay, you can get down? Okay, there you go, bud. Now, my buddy Stuart here was sitting next to me, and I was prowling around online. And there was a time where, for a brief window, you could get dictators for $12, and you could get original Dart Zone uh, strikers for like 15. It was something went wrong. I don't know if it was because they were discontinued, um, but they were all over. And I had bought a couple of the dictators. I've reviewed them. I love the dictator, and I have owned the Nexus Pros for quite some time. So I really didn't see a reason to order the Striker because the only difference is essentially cosmetic uh, at my time at the belief and uh, a apparently a slight performance bounce. Like we're talking about a 5 feet per second difference. I really didn't see the point when these came out. I was quite happy and satisfied with my Nexus Pro, and yet I was looking at this. I'm thinking, I don't have that, and I had at that time. I'm very close to having all the first gen half dart blasters. I only have one, I think, that came out during that period that I don't own. But at the time, I was looking at this, and Stuart was cuddled up with me. And at any point, he may pop back up, he may not, I don't know. But I went to ask my lovely wife, do you think I should get this? It's a really good deal. You know, it's a $50 blaster for 15 bucks, free shipping. And as I say this, Stuart marps at me. It's just the way I can describe the noise. Looks at me like I'm an idiot and smacks the buy it now button right in front of both of us. Like Stuart smacks the confirm on my cell phone. I'm just sitting here in shock that this cat went. And I'm like, I didn't. I'm looking out. I did not do that. You saw that. They're not going to believe it. You saw that. Yes, my cat, my goofy orange cat, insisted I buy this blaster. So this is not my fault. My wife can't be mad at me. My friends, anybody who's Nick, you spent money. Now, yes, this was quite some time ago. Now I haven't gotten around to this because we had a flood of really neat content come out. But I've got to unpack it now. As I said, the Dart Zone Striker. Here's your happy money shot. Is nothing terribly new to long-term foam flingers. It hits around the 150 line. Uh, this is a little closer to 160 feet per second, which is quite potent. I mean, you are well above the average of something like the standard Nerf gun, which when you think of a standard Nerf gun like an Elite, you're looking at 55, 65, maybe 70 feet per second. So I'm going to unbox this. This is a lovely barrel device slash shroud that does absolutely nothing other than make a big, more orange, obvious blast thing to this. Now, the reason I had another reason for not purchasing this blaster, and that's because of the two. Because this one is red and not bright orange, and has a straighter profile. This blaster, I've almost got the main blaster dug out, really looks a bit more in silhouette. Geez, that's on there really well. Okay, I'm going to take this off. And this is a really neat little faux scope. There's no magnification, but it does have crosshairs, and that is fun. The This is just about the same mechanism as you would find in a Nexus Pro, but this, as I said, looks much closer to a AR style black rifle, especially when I throw the magazine that the full dart magazine, especially. Now, I am a proponent that blasters should look like blasters. They should not look like live steel. They should definitely not be modeled, and they should always have orange on the tip. But, and this has some, but the problem is it's just not as striking as the Nexus is. But like I said, it came with a very nice. I mean, this is a nice stock. It has. You can hear. This is the Creek, but this is the first gen Creek. The newer blasters are a bit sturdier. The Nexus Pro X is sturdier than the Striker 2.0, but the Striker is really just a really unique feel. It really feels like they took the Nexus Pro and they dialed up the ergonomics. The grip is more comfortable. The slide is more comfortable. I need to load it up with the darts, but it comes pretty standard equipment at this point. You have one half dart magazine, one of the old ones that are hollow, so you can see not nearly the quality that they're using now. The old half dart magazine adapter, which this is interesting because this costs roughly yeah, it should be that way. This costs more to order now, just this, than the whole blaster cost me. And this was new in box. The old style. Again, the Dart Zone Max line had these gaps more pronounced and gray than the line that went to Walmart. And I think that the difference is part of, the contracts that they had with exclusivity. There are basically three lines of blasters that you're going to see from Dart Zone of the Pro caliber. You have the Max, and the Dart Zone Max are ones that are currently exclusive to Target. I'm sorry, that's what we call Target around here, because it's a little fancier than Walmart. Ah, forgot. This is the kind you cut off the back with my patent safety spoon. Here we go. Man. Standard safety goggles that come with these. At least this one's branded. I like that. And what's really neat is it came with two sets of sights, which is not something that the Nexus came with, because you can run either. Woo! Gonna drop things. Let's see, we got some of their red dart. I do like these smaller heads. They tend to work better in Springers. And what they gave me is 12 of each, which will be enough for me to sit here and quietly talk to you while I load mags. But they gave you two very simple sights you can throw on there as well. Now, I am no stranger to this set of sights because I actually ordered this very set of sights for my personal Nexus Pro. Now these fit, they are just slide on, but they fit much sturdier than the uh, the sights you get on your Nexus Pro. They grip better. They do not have a retention screw, which saddens me a bit, but they hit the Picatinny just fine. So I, for myself, am probably going to run these. Let me see. This has that. Uh, this has the facing on this is always interesting to me because there we go. It clicks in quite positively. Want to mirror the image, but it's not bad. Getting a cheek on it, it's still it's that challenge of finding where I need my stuff to go around my glasses. Still, there is a distinct balance to this. Now, one of the benefits of the older ones to the newer blasters in this line is that the older ones were made of lighter material. I would say, and I don't have the means to measure it. Maybe I need to get a digital scale, but this feels about half the weight of my Nexus Pro, Nexus Pro X, which makes it, while a little clunkier and a lot more plasticky feeling, it makes it lighter. And that makes it a little easier to carry, especially, you got to think, if you're going into a long day of foam flinging, are you going to want your blaster to be, how heavy do you want it? Because that's the weight you have to carry all day. So I really do find there is some elegance in the older ones for the weight. Would I trade it for the quality? No. Right now, Nexus. Right now, Dart Zone is competing basically with itself. X Shot is getting up there, and they're certainly dominating the low end of the budget spectrum, but there have been quality issues. Whereas since day one, when the Nexus Pro hit the shelves and the Striker hit shortly after in Target, I believe the Striker hit after, it feels a little more refined. It just changed foam flinging forever. Now, wait a second. Hold on. That clacked. Hold on. Pop it. Oh. I am sending these just hands off the trigger. I never look down the barrel of something. Always wear iPro. But this is the pull feels a lot like the pull on the Dictator. This is a nice blaster. That just shoots really pleasant. And it does have I can't complain about that at all. And I mean, on one hand, I should know this is a firing system I am painfully in. Aha. So the full-size mag loaded, full dart mag loaded, primed. The half dart didn't. That's interesting. And you'll notice I prefer to be left eye dominant, but this thing is just an absolute laser. I don't think there's much to benefit from, practical from the scope site, but I will experiment with it a little bit just for the entertainment of the audience, because it seems a bit, frankly, silly. But okay, it's not silly. You can actually, with a little bit of work, at range, you can calibrate with it. This thing, now I'm a Nexus Pro guy, I've been a Nexus Pro guy, but this thing is surprisingly good. Does it want for a little polish? Yes. The slide is a little small, actually, for my hand, which is not something I am used to. However, there are options for replacing such things. But it, as somebody who just eats, breathes, and sleeps the Nexus Pro, the Striker is margins more refined. I'm really going to have to do a full side-by-side of this and perhaps the 2.0s, because the Striker 2.0 is more a mix of this and the Tomcat. So there are two original Pro Blasters I don't yet have. But Stuart wanted me to have this blaster. Oh, I forgot to try it with the sexy muzzle device. That's the whole ballpark there. Let's see, is there anything in there, or have I think I shot all the darts I have. Let's have a look. Now, whenever you see one of these combos, you have to pry to the blaster. Let me check. And you have to squeeze it. I do have dart, which means I either didn't line it up right or there was an issue. But I gotta admit, fun blaster. And because this is just like the Nexus, all you have to do is take this screw out, and this piece will turn, pop off, and you have access to the spring, which makes spring upgrades on something like this a dreamboat. But I don't know, I kind of like it how it is. I'm going to have to do range tests and revisit this. But dang, if this isn't just one heck of a blaster, Stuart. And the one time I am wanting him to come crash my recording, he naturally won't. But that's okay. He bought me this blaster, and gosh darn it, I'm going to use it. So, folks, with that, and the cat's paw over here. Ooh, did I just accidentally name this? Did I accidentally just get a theme for this? I'm going to say, find your fun and keep flinging foam, folks. And I'll be back next week, probably, with another Nick Knows Nerf. I know what will be. I've got another box to unbox. Toodles.